The following is a paid program and the views and opinions expressed are those of the host and other speakers and do not reflect the views and opinions of TVG Channel 28.
Acharyam vijaniyan navamanyeta karichit namartya buddhya suyeta sarvadeva mayo guru. He akaran karuna patita pavan Shri Krishna, तुमसे विमुख होने के कारण अनादिकाल से हमने अनंत अनंत दुख पाए एवं पा रहे हैं। पाप करते करते अंतःकरण इतना मलिन हो चुका है कि रसिकों द्वारा यह जान भी अपने भुजाओं के पसारे हमारी प्रतीक्षा कर रहे हो। अपनी तुम्हारे शरण में नहीं आ पाता। O my divine beloved, causelessly merciful Shri Krishna, having ignored you since time immemorial, committing sins lifetime after lifetime, have made my mind so polluted that even though your saints are telling me you're waiting for me, with arms outstretched to embrace me, with a divine life to grace me, still I fail to surrender to you completely. All glories to Sri Radhesham. All glories to all saints and sages. All glories to the Devas. All glories to all aspiring souls. Thank you for joining me. There are three types of happiness described in the Vedas: Vishayanand, Brahmanand, and Ishwaranand. Vishayanand means the sensual pleasures that we all indulge in. The things to see, taste, touch, smell, hear, and taste. This sensual happiness is within the entire material realm. What we enjoy here sensually, the demigods, the devas, they enjoy a higher quality, just like a poor man enjoys a very small fare of food, taste, touch, smell, but a rich man can afford the highest luxuries, the best quality foods, the best comforts. So in the same way, the devas are much more wealthy, they have much more beautiful bodies, and their sensual enjoyment is highly sophisticated and of a higher standard. They enjoy better quality comforts. They enjoy longer lifespan. So the pleasures of the senses is heightened in each succeeding material heaven, of which there are 7. Beyond that is the happiness we can get if we attain liberation. Liberation have 5 types. Sayoj Moksh means one merges into the effulgence that emanates from the Divine Lord Sri Krishna's body, which is called Brahmanand. And there are 4 types within liberation that are high and beyond this, which gives one a salok, Sarup, Samipya, and Sharsti. Salok means you go to the first abode of the transcendental kingdom, the spiritual kingdom called Vishnu Lok or Vaikunta. Vaikunta means, Vai means no, Kunta means anxiety. You live in a place where there is no more suffering and you enjoy the bliss of having a body just like Lord Vishnu's or Mother Lakshmi, which is a divine body, free from old age, disease and death, free from delusions, free from the tendency to make mistakes, free from any cheating propensity. So one lives there very happily in a divine body that never gets old, always is youthful, and in the most pleasant of company. Sarup means you attain that divine form. Samipya means you attain close association with the divine Lord. And Sharsti means God will give you the same luxuries, comforts that He possesses. Then there is Ishwaranand, the happiness you can get from a personal relationship with Lord Sri Krishna and His associates, which is a planetary system within the divine kingdom that is beyond all other types of happiness. This is a relationship that we should strive for, because only then we will feel complete satisfaction having attained a relationship with the divine Lord Sri Krishna, who is described as Shama, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Supreme means He is Adi Purusham. Adi means, they're taken from the Sanskrit word, the original personality. All the avatars, like Sri Vishnu and all the other forms, Sri Ram, Sri Narsingh, Vamanadir, all of these are avatars of Sri Krishna. He is called Avatari, the source of all avatars. He is also called Swayam Bhagavan, meaning He is the supreme form of all the divine forms. So we should aim to attain Ishwaranand, the happiness one can attain from association in the divine planetary system called Sri Vrindavan. Now, to do this, we have to go beyond the desires of the senses in this world. That's why Sri Rupa Goswami describes that Anya Vilashita Shunyam Jnanavan Karmadi Anavritam Anukulyena Krishnanu Shilanam Bhaktir Uttama. In his Nectar of Devotion, the great Acharya Sri Rupa Goswami describes that one has to go beyond the desires of the material realm, the desires of sensual enjoyment that this world has, and even go beyond the desire for liberation that the Jnanis aspire for. Jnanis mean the scholars of the Vedas. They want to attain, merge into the divine light, which is not desired by the devotees. Then there are the four types of liberation that the devotees of Sri Vishnu attain. We have to go beyond that and attain the mentality of Anukulyena Krishnanu, always thinking of favorable thoughts of Krishna's names, qualities, pastimes, attributes, and His divine saints. In doing so, we will have entered into that path that is called Shinalam Bhaktir Uttama. This is the highest practice of devotion, which will allow you to develop love for Radha and Krishna. So, to do this, Sri Krishna advises Arjuna in 245 of the Gita, Vishaya Gunya Vira. Nistray Gunyo Baba Arjun. Nirdwanvo Nitya Shatvasho Niryogakshim Atmavam. The Lord is saying you have to give up the desires of the material realm. The three gunas, the three qualities of mind, evil desires, passionate desires, and materially good desires, but that are selfish, therefore it's binding, even though it's a good desire. Only desires of this world that is selfless are non-binding. Binding means you will be forced back into the material realm so you can undergo the good, evil, or passionate desires that you practice during your life. You have to go beyond this. So, while living nirdwanvo, unconcerned about praises or criticism, having come to that platform where your mind is always fixed in goodness and you offer all your activities from then on, whatever you eat, whatever you do, whatever you give in charity, you do it all for God's sake, then it becomes akarma. It is God takes no account of it, and it becomes a selfless lifestyle in which you're living only for the pleasure of God, loving and serving God. By doing so, you will come to that place where your mind is fixed in Atmavan, only thoughts of loving and serving God. So after giving up the desires of the world and giving up the desires of even liberation, one comes to this platform in which he says, Na danam na janam na sundarim kavitam va. Jagadisha kamaye. Mam janmani janmaneshwari bhavatad bhakti rahai tuki twai. My Lord, creator and maintainer of this universe, my beloved Sri Krishna, I only want you to love and serve you. That's my aim only. I only want you. I do not want wealth or luxuries. I do not want relationships of this body, which are all temporary. At the time of death, all relationships are finished. I do not want beautiful women. I've had that and it's still not satisfying. After the desire is gone, the pleasure is gone, like every other indulgence in the world. I do not want to be known as a scholar or a poet or be famous in any way. All I want, my Lord, is to life after life. Look, it means I don't want even liberation from the cycle of birth and death. I don't mind coming here again as long as life after life I am able to know you, love you, and serve you selflessly. So this is the appropriate aspiration for one to develop if you want to have the highest relationship with the Supreme Personality of God, Radha Krishna. And it goes on. Sri Mahaprabhu describes that Ai Nanda Tanuj Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishami Bhavam Budhau Kripai Tava Parapankaj Stita Duli Shararisham Vichintayaha. O my divine Lord Sri Krishna, son of Nanda, I find myself in this material body, in this material realm, which is a very precarious condition, a perilous journey of birth, disease, old age, and death. And I feel I have become a slave of my ego and a prisoner of desires. From one thing to the next, my mind is always going after something. I am never at peace with myself, never contented. I've become a slave of my ego. I'm impelled to always show off and try to get more than the neighbor is getting. And becoming a slave of ego, I'm always running after more and more. A mind full of desires. In this condition, my Lord, I am very weak. But you're all powerful. I am just like a speck of dust under your lotus feet, my Lord. So please pick me up and give me the grace of divine love by which I can attain you. So this is now becoming personal. I'm beginning to think of God not as God, but as someone who I consider very dear. He is my Lord Sri Krishna now. I've changed the context of the way I think of him. From God to more personal. He is now my Lord. Nam namakari bahuda nija sarva shaktis tatrarpita niyamitaha smaranena kalaha. Itadrishi tava kripa bhagavan. Mama api durdaiv midrishaha mihajani nanuragaha. My Lord, in Kaljug, in this age of iron, one's memory is very shallow. In Satyuga and in Treta, there was no need for the written word. Someone can hear all the scriptures, all the knowledge of the Vedas, and retain it in his memory and repeat it verbatim. However, in this dark age, our memory is very shallow. We hear something this morning, we forget this afternoon. So, my Lord, in this condition, you have mercifully invested all your powers within your name, all your potencies within your name. In fact, you're seated in your name and you are none different. And you have made no hard and fast rule, no required time or place, no required qualification to remember you and chant your holy names. This is your great mercy. This is the nature of your grace. Unconditional. Anyone can take up the remembrance of you and chanting of your holy name. This is your grace, which you helplessly has to give. My misfortune is that because of fault finding, the habit of fault finding in others, I am even insultive to your great devotees, which have set up a block in my mind. I am unable now to go further in the path of devotion and love for you because I am being offensive to your great devotees. This habit of fault finding is destroying all mankind. How can a loving God reside in your heart if you're always thinking of someone's fault? You're not even willing to think of your own fault. Why? Because your ego will not permit you to do so. As soon as anything wrong comes into your mind about yourself, you reject it and you go on to thinking of everybody else's fault. So you remain oblivious of your own mental state, of your own mind's dirt, but you're completely aware of everybody else's fault. So this is why we cannot progress spiritually. So how will we become humble and willing to suppress our ego and become humble? The Lord describes Trinarapi Sunichena Tarurapi Sahisnuna Amanina Manadina Kirtanyaha Sadaha Harihi. If one practices to think as humble as a blade of grass, think himself very low, like grass, a blade of grass, it sprouts up today and it gets dry tomorrow, it is nothing. You walk on it and it's nothing, isn't it? It's the lowest thing because we all walk on it. And humble and tolerant like a tree. Consider the tree's condition. It gives shade and shelter from the hot sun. It never complains about the rain or the sun. It bears its fruit and never eats it itself. It is always giving and giving. When it's loaded with fruit, it bows down its limbs so that you can easily reach it. If you cut a limb off for firewood, it doesn't complain. One has to learn to live as a tree, always giving and giving, without always thinking of taking and taking. You know, in the world there's two types of people mainly. The majority are takers. Their mindset is always how to get, take. So they are never thinking of how to give. And love means give. Only then you will get close to God, who is love. God is love. And you have to learn to love by being a giver. Then God will take notice of you. He can't interfere with your free will. So only when you begin to act like Him, He will get attracted to you. As humble as a blade of a grass, and tolerant and forgiving like a tree. And the most important, since we are human beings, willing to give respect to all others without the expectation of respect in return. Look at us. If we tell someone good morning, we tell the neighbor good morning, and they don't answer, then we stop. We want respect in return. We're the closest what we call love is just business. Think about it. Even a husband and wife. If the husband does something for the wife, she is very pleased and she says, I love you. And if he doesn't do anything for his wife that day, she may even say, I hate you. What have you done for me lately? Would be the question. And the same for the husband or the wife, vice versa. It's just business. There's no giving heart. One has to practice giving without expectation of anything in return. Then you will enter into the path of love, which will get you closer to God. Because God is giving and giving and giving, and there is nothing He can get. All that we have is just material things that are of no use to Him. Everything that we can offer God is He doesn't need anything. He's Atmaram. He's completely self-satisfied. There's nothing for Him to achieve. So, with this mentality of giving respect to all others without the expectation of respect, what will happen? In that mindset, we are now humble, never thinking of the faults of others, always respectful to others. In this humble state, one can remember God all the time and chant His names, glories, and pastimes all the time. Then what will happen? You will begin to develop these emotions. Nayanam galara shuddhaya, badanam gadgad rudaya gira, pulkair nichitam vapuhu, karatavanam grahahe bhavishyati. Oh Lord, you will be always thinking of, Lord, when will I shed tears of love for you like falling rain? When will my voice choke up as I chant your names and glories? When will there be a shiver, a trembling in my heart and body as I remember your glorious activities and pastimes? Oh, when will these symptoms of divine love be mine? This means you're developing a longing for God and you have stopped longing for the pleasures of the world. Because you have had a little taste of God, which is so sweet that nothing you have indulged in sensually can compare. So you will move up. Slowly you're getting emotional where God is concerned. Love is developing. Anyone you love and you consider my love, you start to develop feelings for them. In the same way you will start to develop feelings to God. And when your surrender to God is 100%, as this in this statement, Ashlisha va parartam pinashtu mam, adarshanam, marmahatam karotu va, yata tata va viratu lampato mat pranat ashtu saeva na paraha. you will begin to feel this way. Oh my Lord, I know that I belong to you. But more important to me is to know and feel always that you are mine. You are my beloved. You are my friend. You are mine. Whatever and whoever you consider mine, you develop attachment for. Think about it. My son, my wife, my daughter, my car. You develop attachment for whatever you think is mine. So you have to start thinking of God as my friend, my beloved, my Lord. Then you will get attached to God. And my Lord, if you embrace me with love and affection, thank you. I am hoping for that. But even if you refuse to show yourself to me, adarshana, you don't want to show yourself to me because I'm not qualified. I'm a big sinner. How will you want to have anything to do with me? I don't mind. I'll wait. I will continue to love you and I'll wait. I'll be waiting to meet you for billions of lives. I don't mind waiting one more time. And even if you crush me underfoot, I deserve it. It must be my karma. I have committed countless sins in countless lives. So everything is fine with me. All is well with me, my Lord. My Lord, considering everything as your grace, my love for you will keep on increasing, because I'm not happy when good things are happening, and I'm not disturbed when things are unfavorable. I take it all as my karma, my allotment, and I consider it your grace. It could have always been worse. Yuga hitam nimshina chakshushaha pravrishahitam. That verse describes complete surrender. When you accept everything as God's grace. Good, bad is okay. No complaint. And then, Yuga hitam nimshina chakshushaha pravrishahitam shunya hitam jagata sarvam Govinda vihiriname. My Lord, so now when you have completely surrendered, wanting nothing else from the world, you're just satisfying what are the needs of the body, you will begin to feel, oh Lord, one moment of separation and in longing to meet you feels like ages going by. Tears are continuously flowing from my eyes in anticipation and longing for you. The world has lost its charm. I don't care about house, car, and whatever there is to attain and whatever there is to maintain. That's not my interest anymore. I'm living in the world, but not of the world. So my Lord, the world has lost its charm. And I feel all alone. I feel as if the world, I'm in a void. Even though I'm in a crowd, I still feel alone. Because the majority of people are running after the things of the world. And I have stopped that, because now I have tasted the delight I find in you. This is how I feel, O Govinda, protector of innocent cows. Cheto darpan marjanam bhava maha dava agnir vapanam Shreya kairav chandrika vitaranam vidya vadu jivanam anannam buddhi vardanam pratipadam purnam ritam swadanam Sarvatma snapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna sankirtanam. This is the first and the last verse. Shri Krishna, divine love, chanting his holy names while remembering him, brings the cooling effulgence of his divine love within the heart and subsides the great burning fire of material desires, and brings true goodness, vidyavadu jivanam, brings divine goodness within the heart of the soul. Along with divine happiness and intelligence of God that gives complete satisfaction in every way. This happiness is called turiya, the fourth. It's a Sanskrit word meaning the fourth. It's the type of happiness that only when we have achieved that, we will feel completely satisfied. Sarva Atma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. By beginning the process of loving God through chanting His holy names while remembering Him, we will come to this place where we love God through diligent practice, and this kind of happiness will give us complete satiation. Thank you for joining me. Please do so next Sunday at this time. You will hear JagadGuru Shri Kripaluji Maharaj further elucidate this subject matter. Radhe Radhe.
That was a paid program, and the views and opinions expressed are